Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. This is an outstanding crowd on a nice rainy afternoon. Thank you for joining us. To those of you not from Troy, welcome to Troy. I know you're going to be jealous by the end of the day, but come back and visit us whenever you want. It gives me great pleasure today to welcome New York State's 57th governor and the first woman to occupy that office, Governor Kathy Hochul. I am delighted to say that this is not the governor's first visit to Troy. In her role as lieutenant governor, she visited us several times. Not only is the governor not a stranger to Troy, but she has been a big supporter of the work going on here for a number of years, and I hope she knows she's always welcome to come back here. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of a few other elected officials and dignitaries in the room. We are joined by Senator Neil Breslin, Assemblymember John McDonald, former Congressman Michael McNulty, City Council President Carmela Mantello, and Council Members Sue Steele, Kim Ash McPherson, and Jim Gully. All of the Rensselaer County legislators are here as well today, as is Watervliet Mayor Charles Patricelli, and Kevin Betty, President of First Columbia, and Sumit Gupta, Senior Managing Partner, Hoboken Brownstone Company. As you might have heard, the governor is here today to make a significant announcement about economic development in the city of Troy. So as not to leave you on the edge of your seats any longer, I am very pleased at this time to introduce a great friend of the city of Troy, a true public servant, and an all-round great person, our governor, Kathy Hochul.
Thank you. What an extraordinary day here in downtown Troy. As a former Buffalo Bills coach used to say, where would you rather be than right here, right now? This is the place to be in the state of New York, right in Troy. You know, as lieutenant governor for 7 years, even campaigning, I started coming to Troy in 2014, so I know this community very well. I've had the chance to see elected officials all over the state of New York, and to see the leadership in action by our great mayor, Patrick Madden. I want to thank him for stepping up and running. It's not always the easiest thing to do, but governing with such heart and vision. He has seen opportunities for the city where others saw none, and he has literally transformed the city of Troy under his watch. Let's give a round of applause to our great mayor, Mayor Madden. Also, my tremendous partners in state government, people that I've developed, again, deep friendships with. You know, you are very fortunate to have them representing you across the river. They fight for you every single day, and that is our Senator Neil Breslin and our great Assemblymember John McDonald. Let's give them a round of applause. And once a congressman, always a congressman. Let's give a round of applause to our former Congressman McNulty here as well. I want to thank you. To all the council members, I'm a former council member for 14 years, so I want to continue to show love to my local officials, because a lot of times they don't get what they deserve, because they are the face of local government. The county legislators, the council members, I want to thank all of you for what you've done, and this many people in this room who are part of this opportunity to put pen to paper after listening to the constituents, the stakeholders, the people who love this community with heart and soul, and put together an application, which I'll discuss in just a few more minutes, but I think you might know where I'm heading with this one. But thank you. Also, Mike Yevely, our ESD Regional Director, and of course, our co-chair of the Regional Economic Development Council, who's had a lot of say in this application, our great leader of the SUNY Albany, Javier Rodriguez. Let's give him a round of applause. I have to say, to know Troy is to love Troy. It is a place steeped in history. In fact, it was the northernmost point that Henry Hudson stopped. He said, well, it doesn't get any better than Troy. I'm staying right here. That's my interpretation of it. I think that's probably close to what happened. Also, the great story of the Underground Railroad right here, and these adventures of Harriet Tubman, whose story I used to read as a little girl, and I hope you have a chance to go over to Auburn and see the Equal Rights Heritage Center someday. It talks about the great story of the Underground Railroad, of which Troy is part of. Also, just the history, the fact that this city was selected to be the best place in the country to represent the Gilded Age for the HBO series. How much fun was that, having them here in the city this past year? So, and even buildings like this, so steeped in great stories. Nobody else can capture the essence of a community so unique as Troy. Just this building alone is where, I'm sure you all know this history, where they actually drew the diagrams for the Monitor as they were trying to figure out how they could have a battleship that would help win the war. And it was done right in these rooms here. So when you walk through these halls, think about the people that came before us, who did have vision, who believed in the downtown. The people decided this was the best place on the planet to make collars of all things, and how popular that was. This is part of our DNA here, to make things, but also to imagine a better future. That's what today is about as well. The dreamers, the visionaries of today should be applauded, because 100 years from now, they're gonna look back and say, wow, what did they do, especially after a global pandemic that knocked so many parts of our state to its knees. The question is, how did we come back? What did that look like? What did it feel like? And where did we go from there? That is how history will be judging us. And I feel the weight of that on my shoulders immensely as the governor who will lead us through the end of this pandemic and into the next era of New York State history. All of you are part of that story. You're sitting here because you love this community with your heart and soul. That is what makes a difference in communities. And those who see a waterfront as well, that just wasn't embraced and cherished the way it should have been for many, many years. We can right the wrongs of the past right now, and that's what we're going to do. So thank you to everyone who was involved in writing an application. Thank you to people who have stepped forward. And with that, drum roll, I'm really proud to announce that Troy has won a $10 million Downtown Revitalization Award. Congratulations, Troy. Congratulations. Yes, give yourselves a round of applause, because I know this is just going to jumpstart the recovery, support the local businesses who had to go through some tough times. Even if you're a pizza guy at DeFazio's, Rocco's here. How about that, Rocco? Little tough time there, wasn't it? As an aside, Rocco and I kind of hit it off when I walked into his place with a young woman, Bernadette from the New York Post. And she says, you got to come eat here. You got to come here. I said, okay, I'm a connoisseur of pizzas. I just need you to know this. I spent 5 years of my life in high school in Buffalo making chicken wings and pizzas. So when I walk into a pizzeria, I don't just say I'm going to walk up to the counter and order something. I walk behind the counter and say, give me an apron and watch what I can do. Did I not do that? So it was the 60th anniversary of the Buffalo Bills. And I said, I'm going to make a Buffalo Bills special tribute pizza. So he got out of the way. All his staff's like, who is this person? And I thought it was quite good. I thought it was quite extraordinary. I haven't seen it on the menu yet, but there's time. But to all the little businesses, the whistling kettle. There is pressure. I'm coming back next week. You know, and I have a confession to make. The reason I know Troy so well is this was my escape. I would put on a baseball hat and a pair of jeans when I was staying in Albany and figured the press wouldn't find me here, and heck, they didn't even recognize me anyhow when I was lieutenant governor. But that might be ending kind of soon. And I used to go into places like Whistling Kettle for a cup of tea. I'd stick around and go to Slide and Dirty for the best burgers in town. I mean, just and get some pizza. And so I really love walking the streets, seeing the place just ooze with charm and possibilities. That's what this announcement is going to allow, not just for the people who've always lived here, who never gave up on this community, who had faith in the future, but the people will begin to attract here. And I'm talking about all the people who decided big city life was not for them, that they may be able to continue working remotely or partially remotely. And the incubators that we're developing downtown and the places I've been to see we can have smart young people graduating from places like RPI who stay here, who have a dream, and they can take their concept, commercialize it, and all of a sudden they're a growth business and we're hiring more people right here. I see all the possibilities, but they also want quality of life. They want a walkable downtown. They want safety. They want good street lights. They want connection to the waterfront. This is what people crave. They don't want that house out in suburbia with the picket fence isolated from everybody. People after this pandemic, I'm telling you, as sure as I'm standing, they want to be with people more than ever before. This is our moment. This is when we can use this money as a catalyst to make sure that we can accomplish this and to excite this community, but also to attract others as well. So we're going to be revitalizing the waterfront district. It'll allow more visitors to come here and see our restaurants, quality of life, as I mentioned. But also, let's talk about new green public spaces. This is what people want. They want to walk through and not just see asphalt all over and sidewalks, streets. They want to see green. They need that jolt to the soul. They want to feel the outdoors again. They want to feel that connection to nature that was so cherished during this pandemic. We also have to preserve our rich and historic architecture. No one can touch this community when it comes to incredible architecture. It is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. So let's honor that, let's cherish that, let's preserve that as well. We also want to break down barriers and make sure that our communities are connected together and ensure that we have a vibrant downtown and make sure that all the neighborhoods along the Hudson feel they're part of the same success. And that's very important to me as well. So we'll be investing in cluster growth and innovative projects that'll modernize the city, promoting economic equity and environmental sustainability, critically important as we continue to fight back the ravages of Mother Nature, who seems really mad at us the last few years. We have to make sure that we're climate resilient now. Everything we build has to assume that there's going to be a major flood or a Hurricane Ida where the waters just came rushing through place, even New York City, through the subways, reminiscent of Sandy. So this is our new normal, and as we're building back, it's not just building back what we had before, it's building back smarter in a way that'll protect us when those climate effects start coming in force as they have been. So we're also investing in infrastructure to make sure that the streets are good. Quality of life issues means you're not going over potholes. It's that simple. That people can just walk through and say, yes, the curbs are fixed. That's a sign that a community cares about itself, that they invested in infrastructure. As unexciting as that may sound, all my years in local government, we put new sidewalks through an area, new streets. People said, yes, it feels new, it feels fresh, it feels great again. And I'm very excited because I'll be heading off to Washington Monday after some meetings here in Albany, in Troy and Albany. I'm going to be heading to Washington. I'll be with the president when he signs the infrastructure bill. And I will be... And people are going to say, are you going to spend that money? I said, okay, this is a little sexist, but I'm a woman. I love to spend. So I'm going to spend that money in every corner of this state to continue building on the investments we've made, but this is a once-in-a-generational opportunity for us to bring that money back to local governments, take care of the storm sewers, the water lines, all the underground infrastructure that was neglected for too long. That's what we're about to do. So I want to thank everyone. So when you leave here today, hopefully you'll have a little more of a lift in your steps. You'll say, yes, I was there to witness the beginning of a whole new era of collaboration, which is the reason you won this. It was the collaboration of so many individuals in this room, and I can't thank all of you individually, but I know you worked so hard. You brought it together. It's your vision. It's not Albany's vision. It is the vision of the people who love Troy. And with the $10 million, have a great time. I'll be back for many more ribbon cuttings, groundbreakings, and go for it. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the
Senator
stage.
Breslin.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Senator Neil Breslin.
First of all, I think that that's the finest speech I've heard directed specifically on detail and facts about a place where a governor comes to a city and already knows all about it. Let's give another. And as you can see, when the governor was busy during her teenage years making pizzas and chicken wings, I was eating them. But let's talk about the 10 million. You know, there's so much that goes around about achieving this goal and that goal, the riverfront. And I think frequently about Tantalus and Greek mythology, always reaching for the grapes and never quite getting them. They're always out of reach. Well, this governor has made those grapes just there to grab. And Troy is doing it, and cities across the state will do it. And this governor has been so efficient and effective bringing those dollars to Troy and other cities that we need to applaud her again. I think rather than using Greek mythology, I probably should have said it's like Josh Allen going over the goal line from the 5-yard line. But this is a wonderful day for Troy, a wonderful day for projects that we have longed to see. And I commend each of the local officials who I've enjoyed working with for a number of years, and I again salute the governor for this wonderful, wonderful day for all of us. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Assemblyman John McDonald.
Well, thank you, and good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here, and to Governor Kathy Hochul, thank you for coming to the city of Troy. I was talking to you the other night, and I mentioned to her that it's been some time since a sitting governor has been in the Collar City. When I say some time, because I've had a front row seat either representing or looking at Troy, I think it goes back to Governor Pataki, to be honest with you. So we're glad to have you here. You don't feel you need to bring $10 million every time you come? But I know Ellen McNulty's on the other side in Green Island. She's got a little toll booth, so she's going to hit you one way or the other on the way out. But to Mayor Madden and to his team, congratulations, job well done. We're very fortunate to have a governor who gets it, who understands, because she's walked that path of local government. She understands the needs and the pressures that local officials deal with on a regular basis. And that's why this program enjoys the support of the legislature. And yes, we'll enjoy the support next year in next year's budget. And to Mayor Madden, you know, Pat and I have had the pleasure now of working together for 6 years together, and we talk often. And there's been times we've taken a swing and a miss on this program. And Monica knows this as well. We've talked about it. Do we give it a shot? Do we give it a try or not? The reality is this last year, the stars aligned because the community came together. A lot of different programs, a lot of little charrettes, as they like to call them, in forums, sharing thoughts and ideas, which really just fortified a winning application. To all of you in the city of Troy, job well done. Congratulations. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Mayor Patrick Madden.
So this is a great day in Troy. Step by step, we have been working to reinvent our great city, united in the belief that we can create a future that measures favorably with the greatness of our past. Our roots are nurtured in hard work, inventiveness, creativity, and a sense of community. Did you know that Troy was the home of the first Bessemer steel converter in the US? We also invented a process to produce horseshoes by a machine. In the time it took a blacksmith to create a set of horseshoes, 4 horseshoes, our factory could turn out 32,000 sets. We supplied all the horseshoes for the Union Army. We are the home of the detachable shirt collar. May not seem like a big thing, but it was before washing machines. We are the home of the first female labor union. We are the home to Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, the oldest private engineering and technical university in the U.S., founded in 1824. We are also home to the first women's higher education institution in the United States, Emma Willard School, and on and on. And so it is the case today that we stand here on the shoulders of others, those that came before us and those that walk among us still. A great many people prepared the city for this moment, and fair credit goes to all of them. It goes to those who participate in our many neighborhood organizations and civic groups. It belongs to the investors, the inventors, the small business owners who have invested their dollars and sweat in this city. It belongs to the rich fabric of nonprofits that serve our spiritual, intellectual, and physical needs. It belongs to the homeowners who show pride in their homes and their neighborhoods. In short, it belongs to all of those who recognize that problems and opportunities are 2 sides of the same coin, and who take it upon themselves to create solutions instead of waiting for someone else to do it. At the extreme risk of leaving someone out, I would like to extend a few thanks. First, to our team at City Hall, who labored over this and previous proposals. Monica Kuzieski, our Deputy Mayor. Steve Streichman, our Planning Commissioner. Dylan Turek, our Director of Economic Development. And to all of their respective teams. And I'd also like to thank Margaret Irwin of River Street Planning and Development and her team. And I would like to thank the supporting cast of hundreds of residents, of business owners, and others who came out meeting after meeting to opine, to reflect, and ultimately to help us shape a vision deserving of this award. I'd like to thank the Regional Economic Development Council headed by Mike Yevely. Mike, thank you. And the board members who served on the Regional Council, who grilled us and guided us. And finally, and most importantly, once again, I would like to thank Governor Hochul. The state doesn't do well unless its individual constituent communities do well. The governor understands that very well. Her roots are in local government. She has been a big proponent of programs like the DRI that give local communities the resources to develop their individual greatness and in turn contribute to the greatness of the state. Governor, we are proud to partner with you and do our part because we are Troy, New York, and we are in this together. Thank you.
And now to present the check, Governor Kathy.
And now we'll be presenting the check. I also wanted to, while they're bringing the check out, I also want to acknowledge a special guest in the audience. My husband, the first gentleman of New York, Bill Hochul, is here. Our life is such that if he wants to spend time with me, we're going to go to Troy, and it's going to be spectacular. So he's always he's happy to be here. So let's bring up the check. Thank you.